Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night. Time for another live Wicked Horror Show. As always, my name's Kevin, by the way. As always, I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
What is going on, people?
And we have Angel, who just popped up in the screen as well. What's going on, Angel?
What up, everybody?
And we have to welcome back Mr. James Balsamo, the man of the hour. What's up, James? We were discussing it before. We don't know how many times you've been on the show, but it's been a lot.
Too many. I'm leaving.
Thanks. You're here to promote your new movie, Hollywood Werewolf. This is one that I was curious about for a while because of the main star of the movie, which would be Andy Dick. So it's a cool situation right there. And it's something you wouldn't get if you didn't move to California.
It's true.
Yeah, you've been rubbing elbows with all the Hollywood royalty, I guess. I don't know if it's Hollywood royalty, but to me he is. So yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about the movie? We have the trailer that we'll play a little later on. Just maybe some of the other guest stars that you were able to get in the movie and so on and so forth.
Sure, Hollywood Werewolf. It's a real howl. Let me tell you, the story is about Andy Dick, who plays a character named Elliot Wolf, who's a washed-up child star, and while looking for a new gimmick, he gets bitten by a werewolf and starts to eat all of the people that said he wouldn't make it in this town. And so Hollywood just got a little bit hairier. And Andy Dick's in it, and my good buddy, you know him, I know him, Tony knows him, Eric Roberts is in it. Cheney Morrow from Haunt is also in the movie. And there's some adult film stars in the movie, like Alana Dro. And Alaric Barker did the concept art, and Joe Castro did the effects for the movie. And it's fun. It's a fun comedy at its core. It started out as a horror movie, but it ended up being pretty much a straight comedy. So
yeah. And I was telling you before that there's a few moments that I legit laughed at. It was more so like with the calmingness of the name of the main character. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So there's a dog that has the same name. There's a director who has the same name. You'll have to watch the movie to understand what I'm talking about. Real quick, we have Johnny Palomo in the chat saying, "What's up, gentlemen?" Sergio is in the chat saying what's going on, and Life is Pain is back. Saying, hello, everyone. So yeah, thanks for popping in. And if you have questions for our fine guest, don't hesitate to ask. So Angel, were you able to watch the movie?
I did not prep.
I did not prep. Tony didn't either.
I didn't watch it either.
Yeah. We are what they call a professional podcast.
Yes.
I guess we're not professional because we don't get paid. Right?
Minus the pro, so it's more like professional.
Yeah, we're a professional podcast.
Yeah.
So, but you guys have seen a lot of Acid Bath Productions, stuff like that.
All right, gentlemen.
It's nothing to be sorry for. There's, I always describe it as there's a place for everything. There's you kind of started in trauma, and it definitely has the vibe of trauma, and that's not a bad thing. No. Trauma is a-okay in my book. So you've been working on this one for a little bit.
Yeah, I
Well-
remember last time you were on, you were talking about running into Andy Dick.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you got him in the movie, right? You ran into him on the street.
yeah. Well, it was funny. My buddy Rob, who was a producer on the movie, told me, "Hey, I could get you Andy Dick." And then the day after I talked to him, Andy Dick was literally walking outside of my apartment. It's like crazy. Like the
Yeah.
coincidence of that is ridiculous. And I was like living in Koreatown at the time, which is not somewhere you would think you would see Andy Dick just walking down the street. And I
Mm.
mean, when I say he was literally outside of my apartment, I was walking back from the grocery store holding grocery bags, and my girlfriend was like, "Hey, there's Andy Dick right there." I was all, "Whoa, my Andy Dick right there!" Hey,
He's like, James, I've been looking for you.
I know. Yeah, that's true.
Did he have any idea about the conversation the day before, or was it?
No idea. None.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, so crazy.
Yeah. So
Serendipitous.
yeah, totally. And it's weird. I saw another movie. I don't know who's putting it out or who made it, but I saw another movie that he's in, and as well as Eric Roberts is in. So
Oh, well, they're LA locals. You know what I
right,
mean? They're
right.
like,
I mean, I think it's cool that maybe we'll start seeing, because we've been seeing Eric Roberts in a lot of more independent stuff.
was it a vampire buster movie, something like that?
Maybe.
Because I actually brought Eric Roberts onto that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that's
I
why.
think it was actually. Now you mentioned.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, that I mean, it's cool. I mean, maybe because I'm an Andy Dick fan, back in the day,
mhm.
and it would be cool to start seeing him pop up some more stuff. Like, they have to understand that independent movies is where it's at right now. So hopefully they
Yeah.
they do. I don't know.
I'll tell you a funny story. Andy Dick showed me his penis on that set.
Oh,
That was before I filmed with him. I was supposed to film with him, and then his daughter or something had COVID, and so he had to push it back. And so then I had saw him on set, and he was like, "Oh, I know we're supposed to film. She's better now, so we could film like next week." I don't know if you know Mike Ferguson. He's starting to come up on the indie scene. He goes, "We're hanging out outside of the set by a dumpster. Let me paint this picture for you." And Mike Ferguson goes, "Hey, Andy Dick, why don't you show them your watch?" So I don't know if you know this bit.
the thing across, yeah.
Yep. So Andy Dick takes his penis out behind this dumpster and turns around. And he's like, "Ta-da!" And we're like, "Oh, that's Andy Dick's penis. Lovely."
Yeah.
So,
Did you tell the time on it though? That's the big
yeah,
question.
exactly.
Andy Dick's dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think wasn't that like a puppetry of the penis kind of thing? I think that there was like that
Oh, yeah.
an old like
Yeah,
stage.
I got a buddy that calls it the belt buckle, and it's like, you want to see my
Does it
new
around
belt
his
buckle?
waist? Oh.
Yeah, it's just the nuts, like
Oh,
right there, like over
I
the.
don't do any of that stuff. I'm embarrassed.
I was
The
like,
only
yeah, let me
thing-
see it.
I wouldn't even be able to go around my wrist. Like, you kidding me?
All that reminds me of you ever see The Waiting? With
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they
Yeah,
have
the
all these
goat.
different like things, and they
Yeah,
try to
the
get
goat.
you with it or whatever.
So, there was a couple other people in the movie that recognized it. Alexander, is it Huck? Or
Uh-huh.
yeah, he's been on the show before too. I saw Matt Fisher's face pop up. Yeah, a couple of.
We know Matt. We know Matt.
Oh yeah, his name is Alexander, right? Alexander Hawk.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you know him too, right, Angel?
Yeah.
What is that? It came from the 508.
No, it's from Boombastic stuff.
Boombastic.
Like, yeah, from from Mr. Fisher's outfit. He always supports you guys, you and Acid Bath Productions. I see him in a lot of your stuff, and it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
And-
those guys are great.
Yep. So yeah, how did did you have the idea before you got Andy Dick? Like, were you planning on doing this movie with someone else?
So
Or-
yeah, it was gonna be me. I was gonna be the Hollywood Werewolf, and
Wow.
then I kind of met Andy Dick, and I kind of was like, well, why not have Andy Dick as a werewolf? Yeah,
If he's willing to do it, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, that was a fun day. Joe Castro, you know, put fur on his face and made these fun fake fangs, and
Yeah.
you know,
It was. I was surprised that he was able to talk in them. There was a few scenes where it looked like he was pushing them out on purpose.
yeah,
And
yeah.
there was one where they were really up there, and he was like yelling at somebody. And but I don't know. It was great. It was good to see him in it. Do you have any besides seeing his penis? I don't know how long you worked with him. How long it actually the filming went, but do you have any other on-set stories possibly about?
Yeah, I have a ton of Andy
What?
Dick stories. So, like, I think living in Los Angeles, everybody has Andy Dick stories. I don't know if I want to tell any of them
Okay.
publicly.
That's what I was gonna say. Is this
I love Andy. He's really sweet, so I don't want to, paint a picture.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy.
He's so nice.
He seems really nice. The only thing is, I would be afraid that if you were around him, you would end up being part of the bit. And like there was one scene in the movie where he's basically failing up a dude, and I'm like, I would be so terrified of that. That Andy Dick, I'm like, what do I do? It's Andy Dick. I'm not gonna stop him.
That was in the script.
That was or wasn't.
That was not in the script.
Kudos to that other dude for keeping his cool.
That was an ad lib grope, and that was Ken May, an actor that I work with a lot, and of course I asked him if he was comfortable while it was happening, like while I'm filming it. I'm all, "Are you okay?" And he's all, it's Andy Dick. It's funny.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now he's got a story. Now he's gonna need
Right.
addiction.
You know what I mean? So, and also, funny story, Ken May was with me when Andy Dick showed us his penis. So, you know what I mean? Ken was fine with it. And only because Ken was fine. Like, if he wasn't, you know what I mean? We'd have to stop production.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Make sure everything was okay. But I checked with him and he was like, yeah, no, it's fine. So, he went along with the groping bit, and
it was when you guys get a chance to check it out, Tony and Angel, it goes a bit far, and then I was wondering if it was ad lib or not, because when he was done, he kind of like it was almost like Andy looked like right at the camera, but then that other dude just kept going with his lines and stuff, so he jumped right back into it.
Oh yeah, no, it total ad lib, but
it was it's a very uncomfortable scene.
It was a consensual ad lib. So
yeah,
nice.
But that's the thing. I would be terrified because, like I said, like what do you do? It's Andy Dick.
Sure.
You go back.
Looking at the cast here, Drew Marvick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's been in a bunch of Pool Party Massacre and Murder Size and stuff like that.
Oh. Okay. I didn't realize he was in this.
Mark
he's
Torgo.
He's got one of the photos in the in one of the agent scenes. But Drew actually is the villain in From Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know if I sent you that.
No.
That
I would like to watch it.
Oh yeah. So that's a real fun vampire movie. So now I'm doing Robot Dracula, which is the follow-up to that, and that's got Malcolm McDowell in it and John Landis and Tom Holland, Child's Play director, not Spider-Man.
Wow. Spider got Tom Holland.
And Don Coscarelli, who directed Phantasms, and Fred Decker, who directed Monster Squad. Russell Simmons is in the movie.
Oh, wow.
I could just go on and on. There's like 16 celebrities in that movie so far. I just filmed with Dead Meat last weekend, and I got this actor from Robot Monster, who was the kid from the 1950s Robot Monster, Greg something. But
Greg something. I'll never forget it.
Now, after all the movies you've done, does it get easier to try to get in touch with people and stuff? Like, I'm sure in the beginning it was a little bit more intimidating, but probably by now you got your own little spiel and stuff.
I do have a spiel, a glockenspiel. I keep it in my living room, but it's spiel good. And I do have a spiel, but it doesn't always work. You know what I mean? There are times where people are like, "Oh, thanks, but no thanks," but you'd be surprised all the guys that say yes. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I think you, I think you told us. I don't want to name names, but I don't know if it was after the show last time, but about like meeting someone and just going up to say hi and whatever, and they were just like, you paid for their fries kind of deal, and it was like,
why
did you do that? Yeah. I didn't know if you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm telling that story now. So if you guys don't know, I go up to celebrities in LA. You can't walk down the street without bumping into one.
Yeah.
So saw John C. Reilly in a restaurant. I paid for his meal. And I went over to him and I said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I paid for your meal and I wanted to introduce myself." And he goes, "Man, I wish you wouldn't have done that." And he starts like open his wallet, like fumbling for money. I'm all, "No, it's okay. And my girlfriend was like, "Oh, just take it as like a nice gesture." And he's like, "Man, I wish you wouldn't have done that." Like he's not even letting me get an edge word in. Hey, you know what I mean? Not being mean, just like, "Oh, I wish you wouldn't have done that." And so he gets up and he tries to reverse the charge after I had paid for it. And so they're like, "Sir, it already went through. We can't," you know what I mean? So I had ordered a plate of French fries just so I wasn't sitting in the restaurant stalking him.
Yeah.
Which in all reality you were.
Right, of course. He's all, all right, what did he get? And then they were like, "Oh, he just ordered French fries." So John C. Reilly pays for my French fries. And then I tell him, my friend Craig Muckler said you sent him an email about how Microwave Massacre inspired you as an actor. And he's like, "Nope, never saw it." And then he goes, "Well, I paid for your French fries," and then slaps me on the shoulder like I'm an asshole, and then walked away.
You should have called him a dingus.
Yeah.
Other Steve Rule stuff, and just to see if he gets pissed off about that.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, it wasn't rude, like wasn't mean, It's like very curt. You know what I mean? Like did not want to give me the time of day.
Well, maybe it's a thing where he's just like, when I have to be on, I'm going to be on, and then other than that, leave me alone. Like
I didn't even get as far as an introduction. You know what I mean? I was all, "Hi, my name is." He was all, "Nope. Wish you wouldn't have done that. Like I don't want to talk to you. Like you know what I mean? Damn it, I don't have any cash." He was just trying to like throw cash back at me, and I was like, it's okay. I just I wanted to say I'm a fan and try to get you to do a cameo, but I didn't even get that far.
Yeah.
So,
well, I get it, but I mean, I'm still a big fan of his. I think he's
good. Sure. So am I. Like I said, he wasn't rude or mean, and he bought me French fries. So John C. Reilly bought me French fries, and now whenever I do a show, I have that story in the back.
That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt too.
Yeah. You should totally have a t-shirt made up of just him as like Steve Rule with his glasses like this. John C. Reilly bought me French fries.
Yeah. True.
But the thing is, especially people who aren't in the business probably have no idea what it's like to be recognized everywhere you go. So sometimes you probably just want to, sit there and,
enjoy your food.
I mean, it happens to me all the time, so I get it. You know what I mean? It's.
There's people that go to cons because you're there.
It's true. They come wearing T-shirts of my films and stuff. It is a weird thing. I've come out of the bathroom and people are like, "Oh, can we get a selfie?" And I'm like, "Sure." Just put my hands on your back.
I wish you wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, make a shit all over your hands. Wish you wouldn't have done that.
I'm just buying French fries for people everywhere I go.
I'm paying for his French fries. Like, what are you talking about? I'm buying his back French fries.
Yeah.
No, there was one time. This is back when we were just doing the Dorkening, and Leo and I were at Monster Mania, and someone recognized us, and I ran away. I was like, I just ran away, and he stayed and talked to the person and everything, and I was just like, it's so weird and uncomfortable, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, just don't talk to me.
Do you guys remember when we were at a show and you saw me in front of Anthony Michael Hall, and you guys were like, and he was all, "What? I'm Anthony Michael Hall. Why are you waving at that guy? Who the hell's that guy?"
Was that Rock and Shock?
No, I think it was Rhode Island Comic Con.
Oh, it might have been just Leo. I mean, or maybe Leo with some other people. I don't know if I was there.
Oh, I thought you were there. Anyway, Leo was like, and Anthony Michael Hall's all, who are you so excited about? I'm Anthony Michael Hall.
Well, I'm not positive that Leo knew who he was. Leo is a big he doesn't realize a lot of things. He's, for as much as I love him, he's like so out of the loop. Like we were at a con up in upstate New York, and we were talking to Jason Lively, and Leo had zero idea who Jason Lively was.
And he's just there, like, oh yeah, what's up,
like,
man?
so where are you guys from? I'm like, I'm from Central Mass. He's from Connecticut. He's like, oh, my sister lives in Connecticut. I'm like, you know who his sister is, right? And he's like, no. I'm like, he's married to Deadpool. And he's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's Blake Lively. And he's just like,
who is that? Who is that guy?
There was one time, was it Jerry the King Lawler was at a con? He was dressed up like to the T, right? He was over there and he was just like talking to a Batman cosplayer. Right. I'm like, hey, look who it is. And he just went, Batman.
I love Leo.
So do I. He's great. He's like, I don't know. He's so clueless, but at the same time, he's not. It's just great. Yeah. Those are con stories, everyone. We're going to have a new show called Con Stories, and it's going to last one episode.
Good.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say, having you on for as many times, that we should really make it like an award for like the number one guest. But throughout the years that we had you on, and just the way that your style of movie is, I think you said it before. While doing a movie, do you have a plan for another one while you're doing that?
Totally.
Like, because every other time it's like, I got the sequel to this, which I'll film after this one. So you have like 5 different movies in your head while you're still shooting one of them, or
a lot more than that. I'm currently in production for 20 films right now.
Jesus Christ.
Most of them are in the can. So yeah, I've been putting out 5 movies every 2 months. I cut 3 features in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I keep busy.
Wow.
Now, is this all your own ideas, or is it through like different people, or
all mine? Sometimes people pay me to collaborate on a film, which is something that I offer on my website, jamesbalsamo.com. If somebody puts in half the budget, I put in the other half, and then I go through my distribution. So it goes Walmart, Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, and let's make a movie. You know what I mean? Currently I have over 100 film titles out right now.
Jesus Christ. Tony was like, what is this, like his 40-something movie? And I'm like, I think it's more than that.
So yeah, I have 109 film releases, and then I just approved 2 tonight. I just got the proofs from my distributor. So
wow.
Sick.
That's crazy. So I was curious too, like, especially like because it might be tougher to get some of these people back if there's a sequel. Have you ever like filmed multiple scenes for a different like let's do this? Hey, let's try it this way. Or yeah. So it's like, hey Andy, why don't you take off the werewolf makeup and do this?
Yeah, so actually Andy I had come back for a Christmas movie I did with Bill Victor Arukin and Sefdoc Ramon called Raven Van Slender Saves Christmas and Greg Talley. And so that's out on DVD now. It's got Rob Halford from Judas Priest, as well as Andy Dick, and who else is in that? Kurt Angle is in that.
Oh, nice.
So
it's just crazy the people you get, man. It's awesome.
He's in California. It was
I know. It's just
when he was back in New York or New Jersey. Were you New York or New Jersey?
New York.
New York. But yeah, and it's good to see your dog Alf, right?
Yeah, Alf.
Your dog Alf in the movie. It was great. Adorable. How old is Alf now?
5.
Really? I thought you had an Alf for a wicked long time. I guess not. Wow.
Yeah, 5 years.
Wow. My dog's turning 18 this month.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yep. It's sad. Yeah. But anyways, before I cry on the podcast, let's so I don't know. There's I know you don't want to you can't say too much without spoiling any of the upcoming movies, like the 20 that you have, most of them in the can. Is there anything that you're super excited for out of all the ones that you haven't released yet?
It Wants Blood 2, which I made with Bill Victor Rukin, has Weird Al in it.
Oh,
and
yeah, I remember those pictures. That must be amazing to have worked with Weird Al.
Yeah, he came to my house to film, which was another like mind blowing.
Yeah, and the pictures I've seen, it's both of you laughing together. I'm like,
yeah.
If James made Al laugh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, was it like with one of your puns or something like that? Because I know like he seems like he would dig those.
How I was directing the scene, you know what I mean? It was, I don't know if you saw the teaser trailer, but he's like yelling in my face, like Weird Al was like almost nose to nose with me, like yelling about kaiju monsters. So
nice. That's pretty sick. Weird Al was in your house, man. I need to visit California. I don't think I can move there. It's very expensive to live there, but I gotta visit. One of our friends will be getting married soon, and he's in California, so that'll be a good excuse to get out there.
Totally.
And, yeah, Angel, you know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Yes, you do.
I
think of the one guy we know, the same guy we know together that moved out to California with his girlfriend.
Oh shit! I didn't even know. Oh,
Alex
Nice. Congratulations to him.
Congrats.
Well, they're not like, he keeps leaving little hints. I'm like, you better tell me, and like so I can go, because when he first met her, there was this whole thing where after he met her, he was all like awestruck with her, and I'm like, you're gonna marry that girl. And then months or years later, they started dating, and he's like, hey, I'm dating that girl now. I'm like, what? This is crazy. But anyways, I just totally off. Boombastic Media, what's going on? Hollywood Werewolf was a lot of fun. I agree. And also, I didn't say it because I didn't want to interrupt, but that man Drake is in the chat, and that's a very disturbing thumbnail. That man Drake.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
Going on?
I'm assuming he's from your TikTok.
There are a few peeps from my TikTok in the building, but
TikTok
because you've done so many different genres and stuff, do you have a favorite? Like, do you like doing horror movies more?
Horror has always kind of been my favorite. I've kind of been stepping into sci-fi, with all the alien stuff going on. But I like monster movies and creature films. It's all about the creature for me, whether it comes from a closet or another dimension. Like, it's all about the creature design.
Yeah, and it was crazy. There was some really impressive makeup towards the end of the movie. Again, I don't want to ruin it. I was just like, wow, that looks friggin' awesome.
Yeah, that's Joe Castro, who's making the robot Dracula as we speak. He's also a producer on that. So
he does good work.
He does.
Yeah. Joe made the big monster head for my movie It Wants Blood. So that's pretty good. And then I work with a stop animator whose work wasn't in Hollywood Werewolf, but his stuff's amazing. Richard Spence.
He was in what was the last one we had you on for? Because there was a bunch of it in that.
It Wants Blood, wasn't it?
It Wants Blood, I think.
Was it?
Yeah,
was that is that the one where there was like a golf course or something?
Oh, that's Slice.
Maybe it was Slice. I don't know. I think we were on for both, but either way, it's pretty impressive. That I've always found that really impressive, and it's like the fact that they can get it so smooth, without being Danny Elfman. Let me see. Saul is saying, "Hey guys, I missed Tony's live giving us some about this podcast. Can someone bring me up to speed?" So we're we're welcoming James Balsamo. Jesus Christ, I'm new.
Hello.
He's made 100 movies have been released, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have 20 that are yet to come out. Most of them are in the can. The one that he's on the show for today is called Hollywood Werewolf, starring Andy Dick and Eric Roberts, and a bunch of other people are in it. His movies are very fun. If you're a fan of like Trauma, I think you would dig his stuff. Very doesn't take itself too seriously at all, which is what we need from time to time, right? You can only watch the first 48 for so long, and then you have to just watch a James Balsamo movie to just cleanse your palate and get back into Homicide. But that being said, now that you're here, Saul, I can play the trailer. So we have the trailer for Hollywood Werewolf, and we'll be back in roughly or exactly 3 minutes 20 seconds. Here we go.
There you go.
Chad McDingus here. You're watching PMZ. That means people mean zilch, because we're all about celebrities. Now, speaking of celebrities, let's talk about washed-up child star Elliot Wolf. He went from total loser to total cool guy. Elliot Wolf has been turned into an actual werewolf. I know, crazy, right? But doctors have proven it to be true. Elliot Wolf gained new fame by urinating on the president's leg while he was in town, scratching fleas simultaneously with Lindsay Lohan, and he's been seen drinking out of toilet bowls with newfound celebrity friend Justin Bieber. You could say Elliot Wolf is a real Hollywood werewolf.
Hollywood werewolf, I'm in the movies. I've got a red rocket, cause I'm so happy. Hollywood werewolf, yes I may have fleas. I'll kill the ones who never believed in me. This ain't no Paw Patrol. I'm humping legs and drinking from toilet bowls. I'm out of control, 'cause I'm a Hollywood werewolf. I'm in the movies. I've got a red rocket, 'cause I'm so happy. Hollywood werewolf, yes I may have fleas. I made my mark lifting my leg to pee. H-O-double-L-Y W-double-O-D werewolf. H-O-double-L-Y W-double-O-D werewolf. Living my best life, I'm keeping it real. Let's take a ride in my love-tub mobile. So hip, I'm the shit, yeah, I'm a big deal. Fuck nipples and bits, you are my next meal. Hollywood werewolf. Hollywood werewolf. Whoa. Hollywood werewolf.
Bam.
There we go. Hollywood Werewolf, everyone.
Red Rocket.
Now
Yes.
you write the movies and stuff. Do you write the music to go with the movie too, and then give it to a
I can answer that question. No.
It's true, I don't. Evan did a song for me for my movie Bite School, and I just kind of gave him the concept. So, you know, sometimes I'll give bands the concept, like the band, the Antibodies, did the theme song for Hollywood Werewolf, and they wrote the whole thing, you know. So I just kind of told them what the movie's about a little bit, and bam.
Yeah. So Sergio is asking. So first off, a lot of times we show trailers, he's like, "No, thank you," because it scares him too much, or so I think. This one, he's like, "I'm okay with that. Where can I see it?"
So right now you could pre-order it at FYE. It'll be out in stores everywhere at the end of the month, like Walmart, Best Buy, Barnes & Noble. Or you could go to jamesbalsamo.com. Howl it up.
Whoop, whoop. But yeah, so there was a few people that were in the introduction or the trailer that I didn't recognize. But who's the guy that was like singing? He was singing the song, and like it was very dark when he was singing. and he was like, I think he was supposed to be like Baphomet or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So he's Delvis in the movie, and that's Sefdoc Ramon, who plays Fizz in Alien Danger 1 and 2.
Oh, he was dripping with sweat. I kept counting droplets. I'm like, is he crying? I'm like, no, that's just sweat. It must have been very hot in there.
Yeah, he was in fur pants in California, filming in my garage in front of a green screen.
Yeah, like legit. You can see like the sideburns or whatever, and you can see sweat dripping from a wig. Like,
yeah, it gets so hot in California, and in my garage. It's hot.
Yeah. I don't know. It was great, and all I was thinking was that poor guy.
Yeah, he wrote that song.
Well, it was appropriate. So good job. So I know like there's been other bands that you've wanted to work with or you've tried to work with that sometimes it hasn't worked out because of labels or whatever. Is there any bands that you've reached out to recently that you may be able to work with? Anyone that we may know or know?
I think who I've gotten musically. Oh, the singer of Bad Brains, HR, is in Robot Dracula.
I saw that.
And Greg Hetson, guitarist for the Circle Jerks and formerly Bad Religion, is also in Robot Dracula. I'm guitarist. And who else? There's somebody else cool I got in Robot Dracula. Oh, Mike Patton from Mr.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Are you frigging kidding me?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up earlier.
Hello.
Yeah. So
you've heard my band. How inspired by Mr. Bungle are we?
Yeah, totally. So there's three members of Mr. Bungle, guitarist, bass player, and Mike Patton are all.
Trace Bruins. Trevor Dunn.
Yep.
Mike Patton.
Correct.
God damn it! How did you score that?
After a Mr. Bungle concert, I introduced myself and told them I'm making a new movie, and if you want to do a cameo, and they were like, "Yeah, we're in." And bam, that's it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna murder everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just have to ask. I've
kind of had somewhat of a from afar or whatever, like a acknowledgement kind of thing with Trey before with Secret Chiefs 3. Cool. Never met Trevor Dunn. I've always wanted to meet Mike, but I'm terrified to do that because I'm afraid of how it would go.
Oh, nice. He's so nice. They're all very nice.
That's awesome to hear. There's an old T-shirt that I would love to track down or just rip off and make one of my own. And it just says, "A woman's work is Trevor Dunn."
Oh, nice.
I think that's great. He's also one of my favorite bass players, so that's phenomenal.
He's unbelievable. I mean, all of them incredible musicians, but those bass licks are phenomenal.
Yeah. Was that recently that you?
Yeah, it was like within the just last month. So
okay, because I saw pictures
of Mike Portnoy and Scott Ian. Like the band is.
Oh, it wasn't. Usually it's Lombardo, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mike.
Either way, it would have been amazing. But yeah, they did the Rabid Wrath of the Easter Bunny redo, which is awesome. I love it. But yeah, that's pretty goddamn sick. What movie is this one?
Robot Dracula.
Robot Dracula.
Send it to me the second you can.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cast here. Yeah, like he said earlier, John Landis, HR, Afro Man, Andre Gower, Mike Patton, Daniel Roebuck, Brian Usna, Tom Holland, Bruce Dern, Mick Foley.
Oh yeah, Mick Foley.
Yeah.
I think what is his name? Brian Posehn was at a show not that long ago with Steve Agee or however you say his name. Mm-hmm. And they played a married couple on the Sarah Silverman program. So it's like, it's good to run into my husband again after all these years. I'm curious. I'm sure they did a bunch of shows in that area, but
it's good to hear. What's his name? Mike Patton's doing good too, because I know for a while he had to drop off a lot of tours because I guess it was like mental thing.
Yeah, he was. He's a perfectionist, and it's one of those things where, like, if he doesn't feel like he's going to be able to give his all vocally, he doesn't want to do it, kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
But I've never not seen him give his all. Like, I can't say I've ever seen Mike Patton call it in. You know.
I mean, all of them. That show was amazing. You know, and they played with the Melvins, which was fun too. They're
Jesus
great.
Christ. We're in the wrong state, guys. We can go see them. Well, not with the Melvins. We can see Bungle out here, but the tickets like sold out like immediately.
Yeah.
And they were also pretty expensive. But
I just sent you the promo of them in Robot Dracula.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Was that on Facebook?
No, I sent the YouTube link.
Oh.
So I don't know if you could
see if I can. I don't see it. But anyways,
I sent it
you guys. Okay, you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I see on your website, you were talking about your website. You're going to be at Sinister Creature Con.
Yeah, I'll be signing autographs there this weekend. So, you know, and people will have a chance to be killed in my new movie, Robot Dracula, with Bungle and all those other cool people.
Now, what do you find time to do? Not only all these movies, but because you're meeting you at the con, you're like never. It looks like you never turn off. It's like run and gun and just keep on going. Like, what do you find time for all this?
I mean, sharks never stop moving, right?
Mm-hmm. Very true.
That's true.
Facts are facts. I'm still pulling that. Do you want me to play the trailer?
Yeah, if you can. It's just.
Right. I'm doing it. I'm downloading it now. You guys continue to talk amongst yourselves.
So now, usually if you go up to people, ask if they want a cameo, have you gotten the more movies you do and the more notoriety? Do people actually come up to you now and be like, "Can I get a promo or a cameo in James' movie?"
Yeah, it's funny, and from doing movies, sometimes managers or bands, I'll tell you two totally different, one famous band and one famous pro wrestler.
Opportunity is all around.
Somebody said, "Hey, can my client do a cameo in one of your movies?" And I was like, "Sure. Who's your client?" And they were like, "Jake the Snake Roberts." I was like, "Yes,
do one." Yeah.
Yeah, and then same thing happened with Twisted. They were like, "Hey, can my band do a cameo in your movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Who's your band?" And they're all Twisted. I was all, yes, that's fine.
I'll allow it.
Let's do it.
Hold on, let me find some time to write you in here. But yeah, that's awesome. Like with every movie that I see from you, I just wait to see who, you usually have your cast of characters that you have that are in a bunch, but then it's always fun to see what new cameos you get, and it's like, oh, I know him, but then like Kevin was saying, there was some that I'm like, I wonder who that is. Then I have to look it up, and then because it's like all walks of life, it's not just one thing. You have musicians, actors, comedians,
people you just may not recognize because of what they do. Like you've had members of Gwar and stuff like that, but they may not be in makeup. So like you don't know who they are unless you really know who Gwar is. You know. So I have the Robot Dracula promo, the Mr. Bungle Robot Dracula promo. I'm going to play that right now because it's only 13 seconds. So we'll be right back.
Oh no, Robot Dracula! Oh no, Robot Dracula!
Oh no, Robot Dracula!
Oh no, Robot Dracula!
Yeah,
that was me too. That's pretty awesome. I'm so jealous. God damn it! I'm gonna send it to everyone I know that knows you and that loves Mr. Bungle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Life is Pain is saying that he loves Gwar. Weren't you in a Gwar tribute band, James, back in the day?
I was in a Gwar knockoff band, yeah. Speaking of that, where's my DVD? I don't have my prop. I just have a new movie coming out called James Balsamo Knows How to Rock 2, and it is the sequel to James Balsamo Knows How to Rock, which is a collection of music videos of bands that I was in over the years, and a video from my new band, Wizards of Pleasure. Here we go. This is the cover right here. This is the exclusive. I just got the proof of this today, so these will be hitting Walmart, Best Buy soon enough, as well as the 5-year anniversary of The Lich.
Nice.
So
has it been that long?
Isn't it crazy? Time flies when there's a pandemic.
I know. The late Tom Sizemore is in that, as well as E.G. Daily, and Dave Stein stars as the Lich. So that is actually out now at FYE and stuff like that, but it'll be hitting Walmart and Best Buy at the end of the month.
Nice. So we had a question. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, because the Lich was like the middle of your time with us, because it was like Cool as Hell and Bite School and stuff like that. And then I remember the Lich being one of the newer movies. Wow, it's 5 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I had a couple comments that I didn't see. It was after or during the trailer. But so Saul saying this looks pretty dank. That song is going to stick in my head. Life is Pain is saying the song was epic. And Saul's asking how long production was. So your production, because sometimes, like you were saying, you may do a little cross whatever. So is it really? Can you really pinpoint how long a production takes? Really, because you work on so many movies.
Yeah, it depends. So Hollywood Werewolf, I actually had finished for a while, and it was kind of sitting on the shelf for legal reasons. But it's out now, so it probably realistically the whole movie took, I'm gonna say 12 days.
Oh wow!
12 days of actual shooting.
Nice.
So I like to shoot them in 5 now. I've kind of got it down to a science.
Mm-hmm.
I get them shot in 5 days, and it takes me a few days to cut them. So
yeah, And also, I wanted to make sure people saw this, but Boombastic Media, Matt Fisher, the man about town. Elliot Wolf is my favorite filmmaker. That's funny because Elliot Wolf is my favorite dog. And Life is Pain is saying that he loves Gwar, and you know a bunch of the guys in Gwar. You knew Dave Brocky as well, right?
Yeah, I worked with most of Gwar for a long time. I know all those guys. It's funny. I know the guy that does Postulus Maximus, Brent, was in Cannabis Corpse before he was in Gwar, and he did a cameo for me in Cannabis Corpse in Cool as Hell. So I know Brent since like 2012.
Wow,
so.
That's crazy. Again, it's just a matter of being in the right places and not being a wuss to talk to people.
Yeah, you gotta go out there and do
it.
Like, hi, excuse me.
Hi, excuse me. I'm terrified to talk to you right now. So, anyways, let me embarrass myself in front of a group of people.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah. It's not very often that I get starstruck anymore. I did with Dave Foley recently, and but that was well worth it. I've calmed down a bit on the horror guys, like as far as being nervous about meeting them. But there's still people that I'm terrified to meet Mike Patton. But I interrupted Tony.
I was going to say, for anybody that's new here too, that hasn't seen any of the episodes with James, you should know that, in his movies, he's got a lot of puns and stuff. He also writes, do you have any new pun books out for the masses?
I'm working on an Arbor Day joke book, but I figured I'd leave it alone for right now.
Waka waka. But so how many of those books did you put out?
I put out 2 pun books. You get them at Barnes & Noble. Total Punishment, and you could get Puns of Peril at Amazon or my website.
Nice.
And now, how does it feel to have all your stuff in like the main block stores where it's like you have it in Barnes & Noble and Walmart and stuff like that? Because there's some Because there's some people that can't get, but like with distributors and stuff. And how does it feel to be like being able to walk into a Walmart and stuff and being like, oh, that's my movie right there?
It feels good. When I was making my first movie, Tony, like that is all I really wanted. You know what I mean? I wanted to physically go into a store and be like, I did this. I'll tell you 2 funny stories. I went in for the first time and I saw my movie on the shelf, and it was weird because I had printed them with my first distributor. They had literally taken the copies that I had printed. So it was just like if I had went in there and put it on the shelf. You know what I mean? They came from me. Like I made this and then it's here. Other story, went up to the cashier with my co-producer at the time, Daniel Eisenbraun, and we were like, "We did this! We made this movie!" And the cashier yelled at us. She was like a too cool, like lifer at FYE, and she was like, "I'm so tired of people coming up to me and telling me they're banned or they made a movie is in the store. Like, I don't care." I was all, "Wow, that's
Nice.
what I'm waiting for." Thank you.
Well, being a person that used to work for that company, I get it. I get why she was so just run down. That place sucks. Nothing against the people that work there. I'm just saying Trans World Entertainment, who owns FYE, is a reason I left. But plenty of stories.
That's on the Patreon
I'll
episode.
tell you the truth. Nothing felt, you know what I mean, as accomplishing as wanting that to get it in the store and then having it. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
the country and in Canada, like, you know what I mean? It was like I did it. You know what I mean? And
That's the reason I have a barcode tattoo on my arm, is because it's the Paco CD. Like I said, if I ever put out a CD with a band that was actually in stores, I would get the barcode. And we were in Newberry Comics for a bit.
Right.
And there you go. I got a barcode. And, way too long later, it's now just like a blob of black. Because you used to be able to scan it. And when you scanned it,
can
would...
I slap it? Can I slap that tattoo?
That was this one. So I've told this story before, and I'll make sure to tell it again right now. So the last time I met Gunnar Hansen was also, I believe, his last con before he passed. I had gotten this giant traditional style Leatherface tattoo on my arm the day before. And I made the mistake of showing it to James Balsamo at his booth. And every time I walked by him, he just came over and slapped me in the arm, like slapped me right on the tattoo. And it made for a good time. It was the largest tattoo I've ever gotten. It was the most painful tattoo I've ever gotten. And I got slapped in it, multiple times that day.
It's help with the healing.
Sure, yeah, it's toughened me up. Yeah, but yeah, that was a different show. That was a weird one. I don't know what happened to that show, but that con was good and bad at the same time. I got to see people like yourself. I got to be called. I got to be offended by the old man guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Ed, what was his name? Ed Neal. Is that his name?
Oh,
yeah. He called me Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
And then didn't understand why I found that offensive. Anyways, enough about that. You
got slapped and then called Uncle Fester.
Yeah, exactly. It was an interesting show. I had a good time though. It's still fun. I was just like, hey, you're in my favorite horror movie of all times, and I want you to go fuck yourself. It was interesting. But Sergio's asked a couple times what the next trailer is. I'm assuming he means the next movie. So what's the next movie that you have coming out that's slated to come out?
Well, like I said, these probably James Balsamo knows how to rock too, and then I just finished Mind Melters 12 and 13, so that'll probably be out next month, and then Killer Waves 2 this summer, and that's got Marky Ramone from the Ramones in it, and Ginger Lynn Allen is in that, and what else is coming out? Oh, 14 Ghosts, which has the guy that played
One more Ghost and 13 Ghosts?
Yeah, one more. One better.
Yeah. So another thing I was going to mention earlier when you were talking about having products in the stores is that you've released some collections of some of your movies. Are those still available for people to buy?
They are, yeah. Alaric Barca just did the art for this guy. It's Acid Bath Productions Volume 8, and that has Mind Melters 10 in it, as well as Hollywood Werewolf.
Oh.
And it also has Mind Melters 9 and Sexy Time 5. That is a collection of the breast clips in my films.
Yeah. So if you're new to this episode, there's lots of bubs, there's lots of boobs in James Balsamo movie, and in interesting ways. The hot dog and the beans, I was just like, well, he's He's doing hot dogs and beans. This is crazy. Was that one that you filmed, or was that one that was sent in?
That was a self-tape from Heidi Holes.
Heidi Holes.
I'll be Googling that shortly. So it's getting close to that time. So obviously JamesBalsamo.com. Is there anywhere else you want people to go to check out what's going on with you?
Add me on Facebook, James Balsamo. Go to Instagram at James Balsamo or at Acid Bath Productions, or follow me on Twitter at Acid Bath Product, and that's where the uncensored stuff is. So
yeah, it's surprising how much nudity is on Twitter. It's weird.
So much.
Yeah. I guess Elon Musk is a pervert. Angel, what about yourself? Where can people go to find out what you're doing?
Just go follow That Straight Show on Instagram and Facebook, and we just put out a new episode. We're talking about Nicolas Cage and a little sucky. So
Renfield.
Renfield.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
But yeah, That Strange Show, and here some Tuesdays.
Yeah, every once in a while. Yeah. Life is Pain saying, "Good live, guys. Thanks.
Yeah. Good lives.
Thanks." So Tony, what about yourself and your ever expanding TikTok fandom? Not fandom. Fan base. How about that?
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related. You'll find me there. Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter, which I hardly ever use, but I just mention it every single time. It's kind of in there. Tony Has Nine Fingers on TikTok, which is my fastest growing social media. So follow me there for lives and anything movie related. Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me. And of course, so anytime I say that, I am pointing behind me, so the people in the live see me doing a little jig.
Hand job action is what Mark, every time I see it.
But for those of you who aren't watching, you have no idea. So definitely
go a double hand job over your shoulder.
But I'm saying definitely, if you have time on a Tuesday night, come join us for the lives. You can ask questions and stuff like that. Follow along, ask anything you want. I think it's a little bit better, but thank you for listening as well. And I am here most Tuesday nights whenever we are here, whether we have an awesome guest or it's just horror movie talk. So join us most Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What were you doing, Angel?
I was trying to say,
you were pointing the wrong direction.
I know. I'm just ESL, bro.
All right.
English is a second language, bro. We'll be all right.
Pointing is your third.
Yeah, pointing is it. For myself, just A Knuckle on Instagram. Besides doing this show with these lovely gentlemen, I'm also a part of That Strange Show now.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me on. And Black and White Fright, which is an audio podcast where we just talk about classic horror, and we pick some that are real pieces of shit and some that are known as pieces of shit that we watch and we're like, this is actually way better than people give it credit for. That's always a fun show. I think we're 101 episodes so far on that show. And I also got word that a certain podcast that I was supposed to start with a person from Scream may actually be happening now.
Wow.
I just heard that yesterday. So
nice.
Way to be right on top of things, everyone. I announced this months and months and months ago, saying it was coming soon, and it wasn't soon.
That's like some movies coming soon, and soon means like 2 years.
Right.
Yeah. Antlers.
It's true. Antlers
took forever.
Anyways, thanks for watching / listening. Thanks everyone in the chat. I really appreciate it, and have a good one. Goodbye.